Bali, tradition is everything. Thousands of years of history see to that. But there'll be no statuesque sportsmen and women this week, because this part of the Coral Triangle plays host to the best badminton players on the planet. On arguably the most picturesque of Indonesia's islands, the stage is set for a shootout by the sea. What a warm welcome inside the International Convention Centre for the first of 5 days of live coverage of the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals. My name's Trevor Harris, you're very welcome, and this is what they are playing for, not just those magnificent trophies, but also the little matter of $1.5 million worth of prize money. Always gets the thumbs up, that kind of reward. Well, here's our lineup then on court one, kicking off with a women's doubles featuring number 2 seeds Matsuyama and Shida, who will start favourites against their Indian opponents. Then we'll see the brilliant Japanese Akane Yamaguchi in the form of her life against Singaporean Yoji Min, the second time they've met in the space of 6 days. In contrast, our second women's doubles will be the first time Kim and Kong have faced Malaysians Tan and Muralitharan, the Korean pair ranked 4 in the world. That's followed by a men's singles with number 2 seed Lee Zijie of Malaysia battling Kuntla Avidisan. The Thai won their last meeting earlier this year. And to round out the opening session, with the top women's seed Ponnappa Chokuwong against the popular German Yvonne Lee. Well, there you can see our schedule for tonight's session, now including many people's favourite for the mixed, Puvarani Crow and Tera Tanachai, Japan's Kento Momota, and local heroes Gideon and Suka Munjo. All the action live with Jill Clark and Steen Pedersen from 5 p.m. local time. Well, all 5 categories have been split into 2 groups of 4. So the top 8 players are here, 2 groups of 4, and of course the top 2 from each group will go through to the semi-finals. They will be played on Saturday. Sunday here is finals day. 2 courts in action for the first 3 days. You'll see every shuttle hit, every point in every match, depending which court you choose to watch. First up then, as mentioned, it's women's doubles action. Matsuyama and Shida up against Ashwini Ponnappa and Reddy and Siki of India. The Japanese ranked inside the world's top 10, so hence why they will start favourites. But, you know, in 2021, it's been such a unique year that the form book quite often, you can chuck it straight out the window. Umpires and service judges just being announced in the hall here. We don't have spectators in due to COVID protocols. Japanese pair on their way out to number 1 court.
Versus Ashwini Ponnappa and Reddy and Siki, India.
And the Indians out on court.
On court 2, please welcome Usayan Ombak, Thailand.
All COVID protocols, of course, followed very strictly in this event. The arena actually is part of the hotel where the whole badminton bubble is based, so there's just no travelling. Just the one previous meeting, that was in the Swiss Open a couple of years back, and the Japanese won in 2 games, as you can see.
It is red. You serve? Shida serve? Court? This court, okay. Siki will serve. Okay, thank you. Who will receive? Shida receive. Have a good match.
So round robin events, but obviously the first match always pivotal. Can come back if you lose it, but a win first up just makes everything so much easier. Matsuyama, as I mentioned, they're ranked number 7 as a pair. She's 23 years of age now. Junior world champion with Habara back in 2016, having won a bronze with Shida in that event the previous year. And this pair have reached 11 major finals in the last 3 years. As we look at Chiharu Shida. To Japan to Sudirman Cup silver in Finland a couple of months back. And they've won both the other 2 events in this badminton festival here in Indonesia, the Masters and the Open. So they are in absolutely prime form. They will take some beating as we look at Ashwini Ponnappa, who's 32 now. They're ranked 24 as a pair. They have been up as high as 10. Although that was with Gutter, I beg your pardon. As a pair, they've been as high as 17. Father was a hockey international, actually, Ponnappa's dad. There's the confirmation of that 17th. That was a couple of years ago. Did win a Commonwealth Games bronze medal back in 2018. And this pair got to the final of the Syed Modi 4 years ago. After Zoloznoi of Estonia is the umpire. And Ms. Jashian from Iran is the service judge.
Ready to play.
The arena where we are has hosted many national and international conferences, exhibitions here and music concerts, but badminton centre stage for the next 5 days as we wait for the umpire to introduce the players.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Nami Matsuyama, Chiharu Shida, Japan. And on my left, Ashwini Ponnappa, Reddy and Siki, India. Reddy and Siki to serve to Chiharu Shida. Wow. Play.
So Reddy will get this women's doubles underway and the World Tour finals in progress.
Service over, 1 love.
Just think from the Indians' point of view, they need to get off to a fast start here against the in-form pair. Otherwise, it could be a frustrating morning for them. Just past 10 a.m. local time here in Bali. 8 hours ahead of GMT. Tactic to use the flicker from Ponnappa early on. Lovely deception from the back of the court from Shida.
Service over, 2-1.
Need a sighter, right on it straight away. Unlike Matsuyama, to make that kind of a An unforced error. I've seen much of that over the last couple of weeks. Well, you can see already that despite losing that point, the two Indians determined to try and mix things up. It's good attacking intent from Reddy. And some clever play also from Ponnappa. They don't want to let the Japanese settle into a comfort zone. Cheap point back there for the Indians.
Service over. 3-all.
Flicker again. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Matsuyama. So both his Japanese have now shown wonderfully deceptive skills. Probably wasn't deep enough initially from Reddy, but even so, it was played to perfection. But nothing in it really in the early exchanges here. Well, that's what happens. He who hesitates is lost, they say, or she who hesitates in this instance. Realised just too late that was going to drop in. Also, didn't know which one of them was going to play it. Yeah, nice play again from the two Japanese. Really are testing Ponnappa and Reddy. Beautiful angle. Well, you would really be enjoying playing when you're on as rich a vein of form as these two are. So that last rally was 49 shots. We had one last week in a women's doubles match, nearly 200, but I don't see this match being like that. Too much variety on both sides of the net. In some ways, you'd argue that makes for potentially a more entertaining match.
Service over. 7-4. Service fault called too high.
First time
Service over. 5
that the service judge has come into play. 1.15 metres is the maximum height that you can serve from. Anything above that, it's called, penalised. That's good defence from Reddy. came at a very awkward height for her, and that's going to be long.
6-7. Service over. 8-6.
Hawkeye, of course, is in operation this week. Each pair has 2 challenges available per game, and if they're successful, they'll keep it. So a 3-point lead early on now.
9.
The opening game for the Japanese pair.
Six.
Well, that's a pity from Ponnappa and Reddy's point of view. It's 11-6 at the interval. But they're staying competitive in these points for the most part, but then just the unforced errors are coming from their side of the net. It's a healthy 5-point lead for the number 2 seeds.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Thank you, players.
Eight, 7.
11-6. Play.
Great defence from Shida.
Service over. 8-all.
Service over. 7-11.
Yeah, nicely done. They dominated that rally.
8-11.
That'll be a real confidence booster for the Indian pair.
Yes.
Just that they won the point, but the way they won it. So 3 points in a row straight after the mid-game interval.
Play.
Good defence again, that time from Reddy. Yeah, well played. I think Matsuyama and Shida will consider they ought to have won that point before, well before the eventual winner. But that lopsided scoreline at the interval suddenly turned right around. Still behind, but within spitting distance now. Good lead.
Service over. 12-9.
Well, that's a bad miss, because it was set up perfectly.
9.
Didn't expect
Ready?
Ponnappa to make an error there. Thought about playing it and then had to be quite agile to make sure
13.
she got out the way of the shuttle, but it was fine in the end.
20 seconds or to 20 seconds.
Almost got a bit balletic at the end there.
Thank you. Service over. 14-10.
Thought about trickling over, but in the end came back on the Indian side. That's going to be well wide. Clearly came out with a game plan, the Japanese, to try and deceive as often as possible from the back of the court. And there have been a couple of clean winners doing that, but also it takes its toll in terms of sapping the energy from the two Indians. Only been playing for a quarter of an hour, but it's proving a sound tactic at the moment.
Play. Ready?
Turned away in disgust, Reddy, after pushing that wide.
Service over, 11-16.
12-13.
Error of judgment. They can't really afford that with the scoreline as it is.
Eighteen, 11.
Service over. 14.
Service over, 12-18. Quickly. Thank you.
Beautifully placed.
Service over,
Spotted a totally
19,
unguarded
12.
area of the court and found it with unerring accuracy.
Service over,
Just a look
13,
between Matsuyama
19.
and Shida as if to say, should we challenge that? In the end, decide not to. They're still completely in control of this opening game, of course. That's wide.
14-19.
Service over. 15-14.
So here are
Service over.
6 game
20,
points.
game point, 14.
Matsuyama and Shida.
Game.
So in just, what, 19 minutes, 21 points to 14. This one going with form
First game
so
won
far.
by Nami
First
Matsuyama,
blood
Chiharu
to the
Shida,
number 2 seeds.
21-14.
Service over. 16. Over 16, 17.
Chiharu, serving. Speedy, who's receiving? Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Second game.
Service over.
Level
18, 16.
play.
So can the two Indians find a comeback of sorts here in the second game. Maybe the scoreline in that opening game was a tad harsh on them because they were relatively competitive, or have been so far. Just the big moments, the crucial points, have gone the way of the Japanese.
Service over, 1-all. Change. Wicket.
Reddy, game ball, 16.
Service over.
Just going to have to cut out those unforced errors,
Yes.
First game won by
because
Matsuyama.
they know they're not going to get too many back from the other side of the net. Well, that's a little present for them.
Service over, 2-all.
Shot.
3-2. Four, 2.
Well, certainly won't hurt them if they start being a bit more proactive like that. Well, this is an excellent start from the two Indians to this second game.
Service over, 3-5.
Well, nothing wrong with using the tactic, I just got it wrong.
Thank you.
Score 2, 20 seconds. Score 2, 20 seconds.
Play. Four, 5.
Second game. Love all.
Well, worked the opportunity well, but then
Oh.
Ponnappa
Yes.
inexplicably dumps it halfway up the net. And the Japanese are back on terms, having trailed 5-2. Shows the value of making your opponents play one more shot.
1 love.
Well anticipated.
6-5.
Service over.
down the middle. Such an effective shot so often.
5.
Right on the line. In fact, maybe slightly inside it. So from 5-2 down, 6 points in a row. That's 7.
9-5. Ten, 5. No, play.
Umpire says no because there's potentially mid-game interval coming up very shortly. So exactly the same score at the mid-session interval in game 2 as it was in game 1. Matsuyama and Shida in control.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Thank you. Players on board. Eleven, 5. Play.
Well, that's nicely done. So
Service
that ends
over.
a horror
6,
run
11.
of 9 successive points that they've lost, the Indian pair. But still, an awful lot of work to do to pull this one out the fire.
7-11.
Oh. It was really well controlled. Right, it was a complete miscue
Service over.
by Shida.
9.
Just smile. It was right off the frame of the racket. Too short again.
10.
Now
12.
they're right back in this second game.
Change.
Two Indians.
30. 2.
Well, again, a point the Indians probably should have won.
Service over.
It's going to hurt a little bit.
10.
Service over. 3.
Out by a long, long way.
Play.
Just missed the sideline.
Service over. 11. 13.
Clever.
12. 13.
Well, that might have been going wide, you know. That was a little timid.
Service over. 14. 12. Yes. Wipe the court, please. Swing in your shoulder.
Service over.
Yes, thank you.
4. 17.
Players on court. Service over. 13. 14. Service over. 15. 13. Service over. 14. 15.
what a pity. Because they set that up beautifully again.
16-14.
Really making the number 2 seeds work here in this second game. Should have been on terms and they know it.
20, match point.
Aswini, play.
Ponnappa just delaying it, trying to get inside Matsuyama's head. It worked.
Service over. 15-16. Quickly. Quick towel. Quick towel. Yes. Can you wipe the court, please? Ready? Show him. Thank you.
So right in the melting pot now, this second game. You'd have to make the Indians, I think, firm favourites the way they've come back. They can just hold their nerve. They should be able to close it out from here. Just seem to have all the momentum with them at the moment.
Come on. 17-16.
Another point that's gone begging that they know they should have won.
17-all.
So they're in command of it pretty much throughout. And that was just overhit again by a pretty big margin.
Eighteen, 17. Yes.
Oh, it's a great get. It's a brilliant get that from Shida.
17.
I think they actually surprised Ponnappa and Reddy that it came back over the net, to be honest. I weren't expecting it.
Play. Ready, receive.
That error brings up 3 match
20
points.
match point.
Just seems to
17.
have fallen to pieces in the last 2 or 3 minutes, the Indians. Because they looked on top earlier.
Women's double Group E, match number 2. Please welcome the technical officials.
well played.
Service over.
Excellent from Ponnappa.
20.
Just trying to hang in there. Look to the heavens from Matsuyama. Just got to keep believing, Ponnappa and Reddy. That's it though.
Game.
And after looking distinctly ragged at moments in that second game, Matsuyama and Shida come
Match
through
won by
21-18
Shida
in 43 minutes. So the number 2 seeds start with a victory, exactly what they would have wanted after winning the last 2 events here as part of the Indonesian Badminton Festival. I think Ponnappa and Reddy will look back on that match and kind of think what might have been. Japanese, though, will take the point. 21-14, 21-18 in 43 minutes on court. We're back shortly. Women's singles action is next. Well, a warm welcome back.